Hello.
I was just extending our countdown.
No,
I thought we would take an extra couple seconds that they were not given at the end of this NXT episode.
No.
That got abruptly cut off.
Yeah, it was fun. You know what's great? Measure how long, like you could guess how long they have left at the end of an episode of NXT by how fast they're talking.
Yeah,
because no wrestling promo has ever been at the rate of speech that was happening. But anyway, hey guys, it's Fightful. It's January 14th? I don't know. It's 2025. Gosh, time is flying by. It's Fightful. It's the NXT show that we do on Tuesdays. I'm Alex. This is Kate, and predictably, we are off the rails to start.
Us never. Guess what? You're stuck with it tomorrow too, because I'm filling in for the AEW post show while Sean goes to Maximum Carnage. Ha!
This episode was kind of a mess, and fittingly, so is this episode so far. Yes, there is an insufficient amount of waving. Thank you, Netflix, again. Yes, to the people behind us, also waving. So last week was New Year's Eve, Kate.
It was, and it was great.
It was great in that we got the things that we needed out of it, but we also got unnecessary complications out of it that were further complicated tonight. So you know how it is.
What if I told you The Rock also said nothing?
That
I'm sorry, as Ethan Page calls him, DJ.
Yeah, that sweetened the deal quite a lot. I don't know how to feel. Like I'm very excited that Alba and Julia are the champions. Julia wasn't on the show, right? There was like a highlight package.
Yeah, they did like a little backstage.
Yeah, right. That feels like a crap way to capitalize on that.
You know what there was, Alex? There was a vignette.
There was a vignette or a vignette.
Mm-hmm.
But so they didn't do that. They didn't also Trick Williams, who just lost the title again. Not here. So not attempting to get it back. I mean, we expect him to go up, but there was no like goodbye speech or anything. You know what I mean? It felt like NXT was entering a new era, and it was in that we're getting new champions. And it wasn't in that it's the same old bunch of BS that nobody knows what the hell how to capitalize on anything good or how to stop anything bad. So we'll see. But like I was full of optimism last week, and the optimism is waning. We'll just see where it goes from here.
Well, I mean, we didn't even do the thing that is January 14th. Get in your super chats, get in your upper chats, leave a thumbs up on this video. So please do that. But here's the thing. We actually look very clever because way more people are watching now than were 3 minutes ago. So
that's right.
It was a long play. All along we had
all
you.
Along we had
we will also remind you to subscribe to Fightful Select because Corey Graves, before Bayley came in, man, the main character today of NXT drama. There's some stuff on Fightful Select. I know there's additional efforts to continue to confirm things that have been either rumored or reported. So you can head to FightfulSelect.com for all of that. Contract news that came out of New Japan at the end of the year still being updated on.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's going to be more coming up with this cycle, particularly of news. We've got more contracts. We've got tons of PLEs, tons of pay-per-views on the AEW side. So, there's plenty going on. You're going to want to go to Fightful Select and get the accurate information because, boy, oh boy, there are some people who love to take things out of context and also other people who can't read, but will post things as if they can. So just go straight to the source. Go to FightfulSelect.com. We want your $6. Going to be the best $6 in the business soon.
Right. People are. Luis is asking what puns. I don't know. What puns? What are the puns from tonight, Kate?
Well, I don't want to.
See, this feels like a week where I've got to misspeak and say Duck Hudson, and we do 196 waterfowl puns. You know what I mean? Like this just feels like I'm going to say something wrong and be like, okay, that's what we're doing. So I don't want to just.
Well, how about this? Given that Roxanne and Bayley had supposed to be like a looking into a mirror kind of thing, and we also had.
It is.
I think so.
Oh. Okay, I didn't realize that was a thing.
Like how Face Roxanne was like very doe-eyed and young and happy and huggy, and then now it's turned here. Sure. I think it's one of those.
Oh.
And also we had our tag team titles defended. Can we do speed puns because of the Blurry Boys and how fast they are? Is there something there? We'll find it.
Things that are fast? I don't know.
Things that are fast. This is now turned into the pyramid game from years ago.
I don't
Cheetahs,
know. We'll figure it out.
Race cars, things that are fast.
We'll figure it out. Just like HBK won't, we will figure it out. So, Femi started, and he just feels right with it.
Game show puns. You said figure it out.
Okay.
Made me think of Summer Sanders from the show Figure It Out. Classic Nickelodeon slime game show. Game show puns. We're in. Done. Figure it out.
Game show puns. All right, here we go.
Do you not know Figure It Out with Summer Sanders?
No, I'm sorry. That was.
God. I guess I'm just so young.
Yeah, you're so young, and I remember Double Dare. Was it on at the same time as Double Dare, or was it after Double Dare?
I think it was post Double Dare, but not by much.
Double Dare was the one. Even the Hidden Temple one is a little past my time, after my time. Like I wasn't real. I was aware of it, but not watching it. And then anything that happened after that, you forget about it. I had moved on. I was not a Nick kid once I reached the teenage years. I moved past it.
That makes me really sad.
Yeah. 95 wish I was 16 years old, so I was not watching Nickelodeon. Unfortunately, I guess. This okay, here we go. Nickelodeon puns. If like game show puns, Nickelodeon puns. If you have people, I see people saying salute your shorts. That's cool. Find other thing. I don't care. Give me a pun. I'll read it.
We should talk about NXT now.
Femi feels right with the title on his shoulder.
Everything about Femi's perfect.
Everything about him is right. But he says, I told you all it was going to be destiny. I was backed by destiny when I got here. I was backed by destiny when I won the breakout tournament, won the North American Championship, set the record for the longest ever reign. He missed one, backed by destiny, when I won the Iron Survivor. He didn't say that one. He should have, because that helps his case at that point.
Sure.
But of course, backed by destiny when he won this deal as well, the NXT Championship match last week. He is, he's the exact right amount of, it is nice that you give me your adulation, but I do not require it. Like that. Yeah. I feel like that is his whole vibe. Like, it's not like, don't cheer for me. You didn't care if I won the title. Like, there's a lot of that. Or, that's right. Yes, I do deserve it. Or like, he's just like, it is wonderful that you all care, but it is fine. I was going to win it anyway. Like, that's so great. Like, it's so perfect for him. It's a state of mind I wish more champions had. Which is
especially ones like this, like unbeatable mountain champions. Yeah,
it's nice that you like me. However, if you didn't, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
I would still be the champion. And not rejecting their love, but not begging for it. Which is like a lot of people who they have come out here and like, come on, let's go, love me, please clap. There's a lot of please clap in promos. We don't need any please clap from old Oba. Yeah, the other thing is his impersonation. A lot of people will come out. A lot of people will come out here and say, "I never thought I could do this. I always believed I could do this." God, he's just
He's the best. He is the
he's
best.
the best. He's the best at this. Certainly, at this point in his career, there's nobody. I can't think of anybody who picked all of it up this fast and had the advantage of being his size. You know what I mean? Because most of the people that are his size just coast because they're that big, and so they're going to be given stuff, or they're not. Let's be honest, the brightest. So they can't pick up on the nuances of how to work a crowd in the specific way, or character work, or
or they're just given a manager. Like, there's so many, not so much in recent years of WWE, but like a lot of times they're like, oh, well, we don't need to even find out if he could talk because we're just going to stick a manager with him. And I liked one thing that I really liked when then Malcolm Bivens, now Stokely Hathaway, was around, like, he did more than just be a mouthpiece. Like, he would be strategic in the way that he set things up, right? Like, and I appreciated that, but we also never really got anybody else speaking. Not the Creeds, not Ivy, nothing. They were like almost mute. And I think there's a nice happy medium with managers now, like Swerve and Nana, for example. Sometimes Nana steps in and speaks for him, but Swerve is a hell of a promo outside of that. So things like that. With big guys, it's almost always makes guttural sounds and has mouthpiece standing, like saying everything he can for him. Oba has so much aura, as the kids say. I say presence, speaking ability, and to your point, picked up on all those little things so fast that why would he bother to pay anybody to do anything for him? He could just do everything he needs to himself. So fantastic call to put the title on him. Fantastic first promo as champion, and I even like what we get later.
Yeah, I enjoy the idea of what they did to start this thing interaction with more than I like the reality of it.
Sure.
If that makes sense, because the idea that Tony D is like, yeah, who was the one guy who beat you? Me. Nobody else. I did it twice. I beat you for that title, and when you came back knocking for it again, I beat you again. So, congrats. But if we ever tussle again for that title, I'm beating you for that too. And I honestly think that's a really great, that is an honest point of view that a real person in this situation would have. And so if you're not allowing him to say it on TV, I guess fine. But anytime he gets within earshot of Obafemi, and microphones are in his hand, he should be saying that. So I'm glad that they did all that. What I hate is that he's not able to do it now because of this particular reason. The reason is that Santa Claus kicked his ass, and Santa Claus is actually Ridge Holland of all people. If there was another guy standing in the way of Tony D coming after Obafemi, a different dude, let's say, for example, in, I don't know, a better timeline than the one we currently exist on, Wesley and the bouncy beef.
Sure.
Those three guys saying, I want that title, and I'm coming for that, and my boys are going to neutralize your boys, so that it's just one-on-one. I don't think you could beat me, Tony D. Not this version of me. You beat me before, but no, we're not doing this. So, like, that I would be all down for, and I would also love the Wesley talking to Oba, being like, don't think I forgot about you either, big man. You beat me. Yeah, you beat me, but I saw holes in your game, and I'm not telling anybody else about them. Only I know what they are, and I'm coming after you next. Like, that is so much. Instead we get Ridge Holland like, I framed this terrible photo of me in a Santa suit. I'm giving it to you as a Christmas present from 3 weeks ago. Like, that's that guy stinks. The whole vibe of that guy in NXT, his entire time coming back to NXT has frankly stunk, and everything that he touches stinks. So I don't want that touching Tony D and also then somehow reaching out and infecting Oba with stink, because it's not necessarily on him. It's the way he's been presented and the way that they've decided out of the blue to take him out of being the fourth most important guy in Chase U to NXT World Championship challenger. That was a dumb thing to do, and now you've done it, and so it makes me angry every time I see him.
That's your MO. It is when I look back at the moments that they've put Ridge Holland in. The ambulance match was not good. The title match with Trick unfortunately had no heat on it. And I think there is something with Trick certainly with Trick Williams. I think that's very obvious. But I think there is a way to apply Ridge Holland to be effective in professional wrestling. I don't know if it's in NXT. I'll be honest. Like, to be for real, like the bruiserweight stuff was way better than this, or the fight night stuff was way better than this. Like,
no, he was perfectly fine as that guy, the big, beefy third dude in a faction with Sheamus, and if it wasn't Butch, if it was just Pete Dunne as the other guy in the faction, and then the third dude was a big guy who could hoss people around whenever he had a match.
So much fun.
That's fine. Wrestling needs those guys, and wrestling needs the guys who fit into that role and don't try to outkick their coverage. Because he's just not what he's being presented here. He's other things. He can do other things in wrestling perfectly well. Let him do those things and not this, because this isn't it.
It is not it. I do love that Tony D stood on the fact that he's the guy that beat him. He should. Yeah. I love that. I love the idea of running this back while they're both champions. I like that they seem to recognize that there's something special in Tony D the same way that we have, and that the cartoonishness hasn't taken over entirely, because he can wrestle and because he's good. And when he's given sincere stuff to do, he knocks it out of the park. So I like that he had, as you said, a human being's point of view in this. I also like that the bar is that if you are in NXT and you have the point of view of what an actual human being might have, I'm on your side at this point, because we so rarely get that. We're going to talk about that later with what happens with Shotzi and stuff. But I appreciate that Oba is actually being used and booked to his ceiling, because that doesn't happen around here that often. No, it feels like, and that he has maintained the thing that we wanted Gunther to maintain on the main roster. This, I'll fight anybody. Face, heel, big, small, whatever. Yeah. But it really, really good opening promo. Really good opening promo.
Ridge comes out and talks his version of Smack. And then Tony D exits the ring immediately to go after and fight him, and they fight to the back, and Oba's standing there kind of just amused by all of this. And of course, sliding into the ring is Eddie. Oh, he talked about Trick. He put over Trick Williams in a really, like, you good, you were tough. I beat you. He did say something about, think of all the records you set as champ, and I was like, I'm unaware of any records set by Trick Williams as champion. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but I don't know what those records are. But anyway,
he should have been like, "Oh, that's me." All the records you said as champion. Oh, I'm sorry, that was me.
I am
the longest reign.
I am the only record-setting champion.
If he had like just that much of a sense of humor, that would be so good.
If he like all the records you'll set as champion. I don't know what the longest reign is, whatever it is, the number of days. but it would be great if he says, the record for longest reign of in an NXT champion is blank hundred and blank days, or it used to be, because I have already broken it. Like that would be great, right? That would be really good. But Eddie Thorpe slides. He says Eddie Thorpe is a rat, and all that stuff. He
which isn't true. He's a human being.
Right. He slides into the ring wearing the largest knee brace I've ever seen. So maybe he was like taken out of the triple threat, like for the real triple threat, and he was only there to like get his ass kicked a couple of times and brandish a chair poorly, like because he couldn't actually go. But if that's true, they've made a match for next week, which is interesting. But it's a giant knee brace he was wearing, which he wasn't wearing during the match last week.
Yeah,
that was a huge knee brace. I don't remember him ever wearing one, and it was very big. But also he's carrying with him a leather strap.
Do you think he attacked himself again? But this time he went through with it.
Yeah. I was like, ow, that actually hurt.
Damn it, I went too far with myself.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay for real, because he's great, and we want him to be healthy and wrestling.
We see him. He's got a leather strap, which of course is his match. It's the match that he had with Dijak. But as far as I know, the match between him and Oba has not been made such. And also, Eddie Thorpe, if you like being alive, do not have a leather strap match with Oba. Like you want to get away from that man. You don't want him to be able to like pull you toward him, because you're not gonna win no one's winning a tug of war with Oba Femi. Please don't do that to yourself.
Bad. I'm just gonna say it seems like Eddie, we love you around these parts. It seems like a bad idea.
Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. So, the other thing is that he runs in, hits him from behind, and then Oba turns around. He does a drop kick to the kneecap, and then he's struggling to get up. So he wraps the leather strap around his forearm and hits him in the back of the head with his leather strap wrapped forearm, which I believe cushions the blow. Like if you're hitting somebody with this part of the bone in the back of the head, that could do some damage. But if you've wrapped leather around it, there's just no more bone. There's no bone on bone. There's leather on bone
wrapped in electrical tape. It's the same deal where you're like, why are you making it? It's actually perfectly symbolic of NXT, of like sometimes you add too many layers and it makes everything wonky and worse.
Yeah. He should probably like, I don't know, he could have come in with a chain and wrapped his forearm in a chain, and that would have actually been kind of brutal.
That would have been cool, yeah.
Did he go to the prop table and it was dark and he picked up the wrong prop and it was like, I gotta make my entrance. Crap! I'm gonna improvise.
Oh no.
Oh no, I can't find the leather strap.
Because the thing with the leather is like it needs to be whipped at you to make it hurt, right? Like that.
Right. No, you can't just wrap it around your arm and have it do the same thing as like a
no,
whip.
it's like, it's like now it feels like a purse. Haha. Doesn't really. Right.
So here's the other thing I love. Oba goes into Ava's office.
This is so good.
And he's like, give me Eddie Thorpe. He wants a match. We will give him a match. No, we are not going to do anything. I am the GM. It is up to me to make sure. And it's like, no, this is what we are doing. We are doing this. I am the champion. And Robert Stone, who has been basically lineless for like 3 months. Yeah. He hasn't done much of anything. It's like, hey, big man, listen, he's manipulating you. Can't you see that? And this is like, was this a tactic you used on Von Wagner? I don't feel like it was like, this is, Oba Femi is not Von Wagner. You cannot big man Oba Femi and expect not to be picked up and put up against a wall, which is what happens to Robert Stone. Robert Stone is great in this particular part, but it was like, drop him, and we'll talk. So he does. And then Stevie Turner's like, why'd you drop him? They should keep him up there for a while longer. Like honestly, I enjoy her a lot, but you gotta define the roles here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Are they basically both her apprentices, and she's gonna pick one to be her assistant GM, and they have to impress her, and they do that by booking different matches, and the one she likes the most, you know what I mean? Make that a storyline, or define this role in any possible way. But that's not what this is about. This is about him saying, I'm fighting him because I'm going to kill him. And I want to do that. He has baited me into he thinks that he won by getting a title match with me, but he lost. He's already lost a limb, maybe two, because I'm going to kill him. I'm going to rip off his arms and beat him to death with his arms. So, and Ava's like, all right, fine, you can have him next week. This is exactly what guys like him and Gunther should be.
Agreed.
You want a match with me? Fine. I welcome it. I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean? Like that's it. He's great.
I actually thought Ava did really well in this too. I liked her kind of saying, well, hold on. We aren't doing anything. This is my place around here. Robert Stone playing the guy who was just there he made some really good facial expressions in this that made me laugh.
He did.
All of this worked. Oba is great. And I also like that his first opponent in this title reign is not like a quote unquote chump. Like it's not a jobber. Right. It's not a little guy. It's not whatever. Like Eddie Thorpe is an ass kicker, and he's probably gonna be good.
And he's shown that he's willing to take any kind of shortcut that he can. If it wasn't Oba, if it was a different guy who I did not love as much as I love Oba, who will have a forever reign, I wouldn't hate the idea of Eddie Thorpe snaking a title victory because he's planned for this. He's like, when he cuts a promo, I think on the roof of a parking lot or something, and a parking structure, and he's like, this is the greatest day of my life. I can't believe you fell for this. Yeah, I baited you and you took the bait. This is great. I'm going to win next week. It's perfect. I would love the idea, if it wasn't Oba, of Eddie Thorpe having a master plan that works. So all the time you get guys like, I've got a plan and I'm good. And then he just gets his ass kicked. And that's A, not special. And B, it just makes the guy look like a chump. I would love it if Eddie Thorpe actually had a really great plan and went through and followed through with it. And then the guy that he beats next week beats him for the title at Vengeance Day, and then goes on a really long reign. Things like that to shake up the idea of you won the title, you're going to hold it for 6.5 months at least, maybe as long as a year, and then because otherwise every title defense is a foregone conclusion.
It does get very, very tiring. I do feel like, you can't do that with Oba, but you can produce a match in such a way that it looks like it. Mm-hmm. I want Eddie Thorpe to look good, and I want Oba Femi to look unbeatable. There's a way to make those two things happen. We saw that they can do it. They just did it. With Trick. Yeah. So I would love if Eddie Thorpe's game plan was extremely cerebral, and you saw him catch Oba, and Oba just going, didn't get me that time. Mm-hmm. Like a bunch of times in the match. Let Eddie Thorpe look smart. He can look smart in defeat here. So I think there is a happy medium to that, but I understand what you're saying is so many times we get these like extremely clever, cerebral master plan characters that then they lose and their master plan was all for naught.
Yep.
Yes, I will start a petition to bring back hot potatoing titles. Oh my God.
Yeah, like just not necessarily back and forth, but there's nothing wrong with a guy
one potato.
One potato.
One baked potato heated up. I'm not saying a sack of potatoes for this title reign. Just one potato.
But I don't know how long it's been in either major company since we saw somebody
Has AEW?
Like,
I guess AEW did it with the TV title once.
the TNT title with Sammy and Cody. But I
can't think of another time in that company's history that they've done
I think
it.
the only way that actually happened was with Punk and Mox. Was that weird, crazy, like on TV? Holy crap! Moxley just pinned Punk. What the hell just happened? You know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing. And then they, with injury and back and forth or whatever, that whole thing was all crazy. But that wasn't intentional. It was a thing they had to do to like figure out what, how to mitigate.
Yeah, it was muddy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They Sammy and Scorpio Sky. Yeah.
Sammy and Sky. Yeah, that was all that same kind of era.
But I just think here's the thing that honestly, and I don't want to give this guy credit for anything, and I honestly don't think when he was doing it, he was doing it in a clever way. But when Vince Russo was booking shit, guys had short title reigns all the time because everybody. I think that that's the only good thing I could say about any time he was booking anything. But I don't think he was doing it for the right reason, which is that we kind of want all the top guys to be almost equal so that any of them can beat another one on any given Sunday. And maybe one guy has another guy's number, but that guy who could easily beat this dude can't beat these other three guys. But those three guys can't beat the dude that he can beat. Like that kind of thing is really interesting to me, and nobody ever plays around with that idea. There's a bunch of top guys in WWE and AEW that I would love if they played around with. I can beat you, but I can't beat you, but you can beat him. I want to figure out a way we can get a triple threat, and then you can do your finisher to him. I can snake a victory off of you, like something interesting. And they never do anything like that. And I would wish they would do that.
I agree, bro.
Listen, bro. Sis.
Bro.
Why? Speaking of muddying things unnecessarily, Stephanie Vaquer won a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership to a title that she is not currently the number one contender for after tonight. I just don't think you should do that as an intentional thing. Like if Stephanie won the fatal 4-way and then we found out later that she tweaked something during the match that she fought through, but that's actually going to keep her out for like 2 months, then you figure out a way to get another number one contender, and when she comes back, she gets her title shot anyway. This just feels like you're doing it just because you decided we want to do Stephanie Vaquer beating Fallon Henley for the North American Women's title at Vengeance Day and not before it. But we're going to do this other thing before that. And because this is dumb. Like Shotzi and Steph had a fine little match. You know what I mean? It's a fine little match. Okay. But then JC Jane gets involved and both of them don't like it. So they double headbutt her. But while the referee is trying to get rid of all of that, Fallon Henley comes in and hits Stephanie in the small of the back with the title, which knocks her unconscious. Because you know how the medical journals are rife with articles about how if you get hit too hard in the small of the back, it causes a concussion.
Match was fine. Nice to see Shotzi back. Nice to see her in action here. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't like about this match being set up was I was like, I don't want Shotzi to lose this early and coming back. No. I didn't think that she should win though. I didn't think the solution was she should go over Steph. Yeah. I feel like part of the reason they did this was because Fallon Henley's entire title reign has so not been about her. And that's like kind of unfair. But it is, I think they have, to your point, kind of had this turnover of champions in a really big way and a really big deal. And Axiom's probably going to lose theirs soon. So I think they probably wanted to create some space there. But why this route to get there? like the comparison you just made was when somebody gets injured. The initial booking plan should not be so close to when somebody gets injured, and this is the half-assed way we have to adjust. I don't like doing this to Steph either. I think it's really bad. And I also think it like they'll probably I hope they make this the story.
Yeah.
But Shotzi should be pissed that Fallon Henley would rather face her like she's some compensatory whatever and stand on her stuff. They better make that the story. Otherwise it just looks like, oh, that girl's way worse than that girl. I didn't want that girl to win because she'll for sure beat me, but you're fine. So they better make that a part of the story. I personally have never been concussed by getting hit on the small of the back, but I have more leniency for things that might be like how do we stay as far away from an injury as possible kind of thing, though it looks bad.
Charitably, I will say perhaps it caused horrible back spasms, and because of that she was not able to kick out of the schoolgirl she was put into right after being hit in the back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that's the most charitable way I can describe it, is that she had back spasms caught by being hit in the back, and she couldn't then use the back muscles to help her kick out of a very good schoolgirl roll up pin by Shotzi. They kept saying Shotzi didn't know. Shotzi had no idea what was going on to protect Shotzi, not make her somebody bad at this. But so this is
yesterday we saw a face take somebody off a stretcher and beat the hell out of them on Raw. So an opportunistic pin doesn't really do that to me.
No, it's true. So what do we got here is that Fallon Henley has chosen to face Shotzi. She figures I can beat Shotzi, but I can't beat Steph. That's what this. Whenever a champion does this kind of stuff, that is what that immediately says to me, and so that should piss off Shotzi. And I wonder if we get a little interaction with Shotzi next week before her match, 2 weeks next week because her match is in 2 weeks. I would love to see her to Fallon like you. So you think it'll be easier to beat me? Yeah.
It's like in baseball when somebody intentionally walks a hitter to get to you. That's how that reads to me. And I like that story. I just don't like it when somebody's already won a number one contendership. That seems stupid. So I like the type of heel that Fallon is doing that, just not when somebody's already won contendership. And Shotzi seems like the kind of face that would get really pissed off about something like that. So they better follow through with that.
Right. And I like this from MD Macaroni, who says Fallon should say, you have one good leg, I can beat you easily. That's why I chose you.
Sure.
And then have Fallon have a game plan and keep attacking the knee. And like this is I think somebody in here was saying that the best option is that Stephanie gets involved in 2 weeks in Atlanta and we get a triple threat Vengeance Day. No, the best option is that Fallon Henley beats Shotzi Blackheart. She beats her. She doesn't require JC Jane's help or Jasmine Nix's help. She doesn't require any of that. She just beats her. She has a good game plan and she beats her. I chose you because I do believe I can beat you. And then she does. So that when Stephanie Vaquer gets her title shot at Vengeance Day and beats Fallon Henley, then she actually beats somebody. Shotzi can take the loss. Shotzi can be pissed about having lost, but she can take the loss.
I think we will get the medium between those two things. I don't think we're getting a triple threat. No. I think Shotzi is losing, but I think that there's probably interference.
There's going to be interference. Yeah. That's the way it's going to work. There was a picture-in-picture after this match.
This was so funny.
Of Stephanie just stalking the entire locker room, everywhere, and like, I don't have audio. I don't know what's going on here. I want to know more about what this is. She like got up in JC Jane's face, and then she was like basically yelling at Gigi in a hallway about what? I have no idea. And then we just cut away from that to go into the Oba Femi scene we talked about earlier. Like.
Well, no, what we went into was Ethan Page's entrance, which both parts
Right.
of this cracked me up because I was like, we should be seeing and hearing what's on screen right now.
We should be.
And then I don't know if Ethan Page is
that was on Netflix, wasn't it? That was in the international markets. NordVPN, everybody, NordVPN. That's on the international markets, probably on Netflix, where you can actually hear all this crap. Because
NordVPN, you say?
I said NordVPN.
Did you summon a NordVPN ad read? I mean, that's crazy. It's not like it would just start playing just because you said NordVPN.
Buying pay-per-views on nordvpn.com/Fightful is going to enhance your pay-per-view buying process. Now, one subscription to NordVPN has so many different benefits, but if you're a big pay-per-view buyer like myself, UFC, boxing, pro wrestling, all that good stuff, any combination of the three, if they're doing a fight circus or something like that, this subscription will pay for itself after 1 or 2 pay-per-view buys. Change your virtual location, pay for it at the prices that other people are paying for it in the UK, in Australia, etc., etc. And you can get different interfaces. Maybe you don't like Peacock and you want to check out the WWE Network the way that it used to be, the way that it was designed to be, the easy navigation, so on and so forth. Maybe you want to watch AEW without commercials. Maybe there's some other overseas services that you can't subscribe to and you want access to them. NordVPN.com/Fightful gives you that with a great deal and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Even better, 24/7 tech support, so if you have trouble navigating any of it, they can help you out. Fastest VPN on the planet, NordVPN.com/Fightful.
Hi, Alex.
You thought you were gonna be so slick.
Look, there's a lot of weird timing issues going on today, okay? Bayley and Roxanne barely were fighting at the end of that show. I double-clicked the ad.
That was funny.
It's funny. I'm funny.
It was funny. Tim McFall says only good thing. Steph is going to unalive people. Yeah, no, Steph is. Yeah. I mean, I understand. She's not pissed at Shotzi. She's pissed at Fallon and JC, and I guess Jasmine, if Jasmine was there, but I don't think she was. So, yeah, she's going to kill all these people. She's the one who's going to beat Fallon. It's kind of obvious she's the one who's going to do it. They're just putting that off until the Pape, which fine. You know what I mean? That's okay. I didn't think that. I thought this match was for the Pape match. I didn't think there was a thing in 2 weeks. I didn't know that there was, but so that's what they're doing. They're doing it. They're doing in 2 weeks. NXT is going to be live in Atlanta, and that's where Shotzi versus Fallon's going to be. And then I'm assuming then we move on to the Pape, the play,
as it were.
Ethan Page, the reason he's having a match is that he walked into the locker room and says, "You guys see the reaction, the me and DJ, I'm the biggest star in NXT and blah blah blah." And Oro Mensah, who is just not allowed to be on television anymore. Like, when was the last time he had a match? Was it the match that he lost to Ethan Page in the summer? It's been forever. Like,
it's been a really long time. And Alex, like, normally I don't really care too much if someone's entrance is in picture, but it did make me laugh because I was like, I don't know if Ethan Page is the top heel right now, but he's the one that gets the most boos. And the fact that they cut off the reaction to his entrance, I was like, why are you doing that to the hottest heel that you have right now?
So Oro Mensah is like, I can't be around this. I'm leaving. And Dante Chen is the one who decides to speak up to Ethan Page. Like, nobody's jealous of you, Ethan. You're a jerk. We don't like you. Look what you did to Javon and Cedric. Nobody likes you. You're not a nice person. We suck. And so that is why they have a match. It's Ethan Page versus Dante Chen. And I actually like the way this was laid out, with Dante Chen coming at him hard at the beginning and basically just like taking over. But Ethan Page is a good enough wrestler, a smart enough heel to do a little drop toe hold into the bottom rope, pick him up, do a twist of fate, and secure the victory. Done.
Beautiful.
That's it. Boom.
Clever.
I mean, like, it's interesting that they're doing the twist of fate thing. Of course, he had the stuff he was doing with Matt Hardy and AEW. That's a cool thing to give him. I mean, I like the Ego's Edge, but if you want to make it, the Ego's Edge requires a setup.
Correct. Yeah,
it requires a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This is I got you. I hit you out of nowhere. You didn't know this was coming, and now you're done. I actually like that a lot more. I like this version of Ethan Page being a rattlesnake. Like, he gets you. You're done. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once you've got the venom in you, then he can do whatever he wants to you. Like, that was the thing, is once he hit you with the thing, apparently he hits the twist of fate in a way that knocks you out, basically. And he's able to then do whatever he wants with Dante Chen, which in this case is to take his boot off, trap his bootless ankle in between the steps and the ring, and then shove it and crush the ankle. This is something I've honestly wanted them to do with a heel anywhere, is put a whole bunch of dudes on the shelf. One of the greatest things they did with Penta in Lucha Underground was when he was taking people's arms.
Yeah.
And because of the way that they shot everything, where they would bring in guys for a weekend and shoot a whole bunch of episodes, they brought in a bunch of guys from Mexico, and they were all luchadors or whatever. And the way that they had a big enough roster because of the way that they were doing everything, that Penta took about 8 or 9 guys out for months by breaking their arms. And they did not show up for like 8 or 9 episodes, 8 or 9 weeks of programming. And NXT is in a position where they have a roster full of a bunch of dudes that we know, but also they wouldn't miss if they were out for quite a while. So you have a Dante Chen, you have a Cedric Alexander. I love Cedric, and I am going to miss him, but his thing makes sense. You have possibly now Oro Mensah comes at him next week, and Oro Mensah gets put out because they're not using him anyway. He have history. That's a good guy for him to do this kind of thing too. Like, having him do lasting injuries. Don't do a thing where KO hits a package pile driver on Cody Rhodes. Oh my God, he broke his neck. He's back 9 days later. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have somebody react to having their hand smashed in a toolbox or their leg crushed up against the ring, like, have that take them out of action for well over a month, maybe 2, before we ever see them again. And have Ethan Page doing that, and then like this dead-eyed smile watching their pain. Like, he's doing such amazing work here. Javon Evans comes out to get revenge on him. I don't know, he was like just happened to be in the neighborhood, but he comes out and he rolls him into the ring, starts punching on him, and Ethan Page just kind of backpedaling, gets a lucky right hook in and catches him in the jaw, and he drops because he's still got a broken jaw. And Ethan, because the officials are no help with it, he gets down next to his face and has his arms behind his back, his hands behind his back. Is that what you thought you were going to do? That you were going to come back here and get revenge on me? Is that what you thought you were going to do? I'm not hitting him anymore. He could have easily mounted him and taken several more punches at his already broken jaw. I hit you once, you're down. What do you think you're going to do, Javon? Like, that is so much more sinister to me than like taking advantage and then jumping on him and hitting him with another twist of fate or anything, showing you that I could be doing that to you, but you're not worth the effort. And all I had to do was paintbrush you one time and you're down. This was great. This is the kind of thing they should have been doing with Ethan Page from the very beginning. Instead of that detour to Mizland, to Misneyland.
Not Disneyland.
The chicken shittiest place on earth.
I agree with you. There's a couple of things with this. One, I wish they would use Dante Chen more often than to lose every 2 months on screen. I really like him.
I agree with that too. I do.
I think he was a great opponent in this context, in this situation. I just don't want him to go away for 2 months to job to somebody else in a little bit. I like the way this match was laid out too. I like that Dante Chen got to look good and Ethan Page got to look smart. I like he's so maniacal. And this isn't the Ethan Page that I've known and loved as a heel, but it's a lot closer. We have to pivot to Disney Funds because now this isn't the variation of him that I knew, but it's a lot closer. It's a lot closer because he was never really like violent, but he was definitely clever. And we've gotten to see that week over week. I love the use of the twist of fate. That's so much fun. I like people having, I say this every post show that we're allowed to, but like, I like when wrestlers have arsenals of weapons they can finish you with, because it says to me that the match can end more often. Like if somebody can finish you with 3 or 4 things, anytime they break out one of those moves, that's fine. If they have one finisher, then I'm sitting around waiting for that one move to put someone away. Right. So to have not only multiple finishers, but to your point, one that can be used in the context of gotcha versus one that requires a setup is so refreshing. And I wish more wrestlers would do that. I get that WWE loves like their hallmarks of things, but like this is a better approach to me because it makes matches more interesting. The facial expressions from him are always like beyond brilliant. And I like Javon coming out here too. I like him being like a young kid who is coming looking for a fight, doesn't really know his limits because he's a kid and like probably shouldn't be doing this. And this isn't the way to get back at Ethan Page, but he can't help himself because he's pissed. And Ethan Page just being like, that's cute. Kind of like it's good. It's really, really good stuff. I like this version of Ethan Page. If he hadn't won via Oops-a-Daisy, like you said, like this would be, I wish we got this when he was coming in building to a title win, but we don't. So I'm glad we get this now and it's a lot better. Yay, Ethan Page.
Yay, Ethan Page.
Get Def Rebel out of my life forever.
Psycho saying we can't just name drop Disneyland and then keep talking about NXT. No, we can. This is the secret sauce.
I had to. It's my job, but we can give respect. We can put some respect on Disneyland's nyam. That's hard to say in that voice. Disneyland. Disneyland's nyam.
JW Pringle says, amazing Alex, Killer Kate, powerful Papa Paul, Elizabeth, Louise, and all the SGS. This has been a very Monday type of Tuesday.
I so agree. It was a very Monday Tuesday for me too, but you're my brother, so that story tracks.
There you go. And Bargov, a 19-month Fightful trainee, does the heart hands.
Oh my gosh. Heart hands back at you.
Is that
you got it?
Heart hands?
That's your inner white girls right there.
All right.
But there's a thing now. There's a thing with this where this is millennials, and then what does Gen Z do? Like they do like I don't know. There's a thing. There's like this or I don't know. But I'm old, so I do this.
Hard hands.
They turn into little witches.
Dion Lennox dropping hints. With Oba. Hey, congratulations on winning the championship. Maybe I'll fight you for that one day. And Oba's like, and he just moves on. And he didn't say anything. It was like, fine. He could have said, you will meet your fate the way that all the rest will. But he just didn't say anything. He just moved on, which I thought that was nice.
He just dismissed him.
Then Spears being like to Big Ange, I don't think Tony has your best interest at heart, do you? And Izzy's like, listen, I know you weren't talking to me, but stop talking to me. I don't need your help, and she doesn't need your help either. I think she does. And he leaves. And then she's like, it's like, I had that handle before you even showed up. Sure you did. Tell the Don we're even now, because he spoke up for her, so she spoke up for Big Edge. That's all fine. This is what we call an all right backstage segment.
Normally they're great or colossally bad, so I'll take an all right backstage segment.
And then it turned bad because then we got Carmen and Ashanti, but at least we had like At least there was not like I'm new year, new me. I'm ready to start the new year with you. And he's standing in front of her. The camera shows him from mid chest up, and then he brings a red rose up that he was obviously holding in front of his torso, just lower than the camera. And she reacts with the same shock and awe that people reacted to Tiffany Stratton cashing in Money in the Bank on all those streams. Oh my God, a flower I totally saw, but I didn't see.
What?
And
A
so she said,
flower?
about time, and she kisses him, and they walk off hand in hand. And I don't know what this does. Like,
I thought we dropped it. I was really optimistic we dropped it because we didn't see it for a while.
Is there a mixed match tag division that I don't know about? Where does this go? What does this do?
The main
How does
roster
this
for a
help
long
anybody?
time had 2 guys and a girl. That was a staple on the main roster there, especially on SmackDown for a while. This was uncomfortable. The kiss did not look like either of them wanted to be kissing each other.
No, why would you? Why would you? Why this is not like? How does like? I want especially Carmen Petrovich to be like, what does this do for my character?
Yeah.
You tell me what the steps are.
I may not know the right heart hands. I think it's is it just this? I don't know. But I do know this. I know this hip phrase. Cringe. Yeah. This was cringeworthy.
I honestly don't know if I'm even using the terminology right, but this was skibbity toilet.
It was so skibbity toilet. I'm so glad you were brave enough to say it. Oh my God, we're so hip.
Listen. Hot take. This was skibbity toilet. Louise says they built the storyline for over 4 months, and they still missed 2 months of development to the kiss, LMAO. Where is the Ashante on the forklift blow off between Carmen and Nikita? This is me being sarcastic, says Louise. I honestly, but again, like, okay, now they're officially a couple. What does this do for either of them? Like, how does this help them, either of them, like, realize the next level of them in NXT? I don't know what this does for any of them, but whatever.
Well, Alex, there's like a 40-60 chance we find out.
Bargov says, I don't even know what that term meant, but this is now what it means to me for the rest of my life. So thank you, Bargov.
No, we definitely used it right. Skibbity toilet.
Norma says,
Fyre.
I've kissed broccoli more passionately.
Have you kissed broccoli more passionately?
That, I guess what he's saying is Meet Normus saying that he has kissed broccoli more passionately, when you know he hasn't kissed broccoli at all because he's Meet Normus.
I get the sarcasm. I'm still just hung up on the kissing broccoli aspect of it all. But God bless.
We don't judge. We listen and we
don't judge. We're so hip.
We're the hippest.
I've never felt more like I'm trying to oversee people at a slumber party or something. My God.
The Julia vignette was the vignetti that was fine.
Vignette.
It was good. I saw the match last week. I guess we're supposed. The only thing that's added to that is the fact that she met The Rock.
Yes.
And got side plates.
Yes.
So, thank
you.
It
was good. It was well produced.
It was fine. Yeah, good.
It was their way of having her on the show without having her on the show.
DIY is there, and like we came to look at Fraxium. They say Fraxium. I say Blurry Boys.
Obviously,
because we've heard they're the best tag team in NXT history, but obviously they're not. I mean, because us. So we decided we wanted to come in and see what they were like. But I can promise you, no shenanigans. And I was like, that just means yes shenanigans.
That means all the shenanigans usually.
That is code for yes shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, oh, so they cost them the titles tonight. And Fraxium Blurry Boys moved to SmackDown, and not Street Profits, not MCMG, but Fraxium is the one who chases DIY into WrestleMania. Now, if you're telling me heel DIY versus Fraxium is the Mania match, I'm 1,000,000% on board with this. But it feels like now Fraxium is the Blurry Boys are still in NXT for a while because spoiler alert, they win their match later. But this was fun, and I honestly like sarcastic Johnny Gargano in this role with Ciampa. They actually work really well together as that. We've only ever seen this version of Johnny Gargano when he was not working with Ciampa, and I actually think this actually works really well with the two of them together. So
yeah, I like that Ciampa's always kind of cutting through his shit. Yeah. Like there's something about that that's really endearing of Ciampa kind of just being like, yeah, moving through.
Yeah. We got the Meta Girls and the formerly spooky, currently still Scottish witches.
Yes.
Water Bottle and Towel. They
good old Water Bottle and Towel.
Water Bottle and Towel. That amazing tag team of Water Bottle and Towel. They lost. Water Bottle and Towel lost. It. Remember, I believe I did say this, that I was justifiably, I think, angry that they never paid off, that they never did anything to elevate them properly from Water Bottle and Towel to...
They didn't elevate them from this point, really.
From Water Bottle and Towel to... By the way, that's Tatum Paxley.
Oh my god, that's
Tatum Paxley. That looks nothing like the girl that we see now. She's entirely different.
That is wild.
So the Scottish, they weren't properly elevated to a position where they could have even been in a title match in Scotland, let alone won it.
Correct.
And I was angry about that because I want them to do the work to actually elevate people so they don't get tag team title shots or tournament victories out of nowhere.
Within weeks, we had seen Shayna Baszler put them away in 30 seconds.
No, 4 days before they won the titles, they lost in 2 minutes to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
Perfect.
So then my thought was, okay, they're not going to be tag champs for very long. They're going to lose those titles. So after they are no longer the champs, now in order to possibly save this, you have to then keep them at a high enough level that it doesn't feel like, my God, they were champs once, which is what it feels like now. And They were champs within the last 6 months. And it doesn't feel like that because of how they've been booked since they lost the titles. So they're here and they lose to Jakara and Lash Legend. They were going to lose that match anyway, but there was never a thought that they might win it. Yep. You know what I mean? They should be even if they're not the tag champs, they should be perennial tag championship contenders. But the same thing is what happens with Katana and Kaden. They at one point somehow were the tag champions, but it doesn't feel like that was ever possible because of how they've been booked since they lost the tag titles. So now we have Lash and Jakara. I hope they win. I hope they beat Bianca and Naomi to free up Bianca for a single storyline going into Mania. And then I hope the women's tag team titles are on NXT exclusively until SummerSlam. From now until then. Because then you can sort out all your mid-card titles, all that stuff. You can have Naomi and Bianca if they got a feud against each other. If it turns out Naomi was the one who attacked Jade or whatever, you can do all of that without the tag titles floating around because they're just, if they're not on Bianca and Bianca's partner du jour, then they're nothing. So make them mean something to all the girls in NXT because on the main roster, bleh.
Honestly, I didn't feel like they did a very good job with them on Bianca and whoever her partner is. Right,
but at least Bianca is important enough that they're featured
ever. Yeah,
they defended the titles 21 times. world champions in 2024.
Did they really?
Yes, on television. A lot of those matches were short, but they defended them a lot.
21 times. Like, okay.
So, like, hey, fine, that's great. Like, it never felt like they were in danger of losing the titles, which is probably why
it feels like that way. Yeah.
None of the matches were memorable, but at least then you actually, because Bianca is a champion and she's so marketable and such a top star, they put her on TV, and I believe Bianca was like, if I'm on TV, I should be wrestling. And they were like, okay, fine, okay, you're good at that too, so do that. And I think that that's good for the titles. But in NXT, there are so many talented women. You could develop a really good NXT tag team women's division. But
I don't understand why they absorbed them in the first place. I really don't. Like, there's the lopsidedness. It's very funny to me that both on ROH and NXT, both of the hybrid developmental programs, the women's divisions are kicking the ass of the men's divisions, particularly in the singles department. Not from a lack of talent, a lack of roster depth, maybe, but when they absorbed them to NXT, I was like, they better float across all three brands, because otherwise it just means NXT has one less title for no reason, and voila, that is what happened. But I'm intrigued to see what happens with Lash and Jakara as they venture to the blue brand, Alex. Because we've got a blue brand of our own that we're going to tell you all about. We do. And darn it, if it's not Blue Chew.
You dealing with a nosy mailman all up in your business about what you're ordering, what you're getting? Well, don't worry about it with BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. It ships discreetly. Discreetly. Fortunately for you, because the mailman's going to want to know what's going on. He's going to be delivering that mail to your house. He's going to hear all these sounds. He's going to be like, what's going on there? Well, I don't know, because this package doesn't say anything, but I have a feeling the package in there is saying something, and it will be, because of BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Helps get you that main event performance and confidence. And you get your first shipment free when you go to BlueChew.com and use the code FIGHTFUL. Like I said, same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but much more affordable and in a chewable. Take their online quiz, and then when approved, it ships straight to your door. My gosh. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Mind your own business, mailman.
Yeah, mailman. Stupid mailman.
So, Lexus King is very excited about getting his name on the plaque that says he's the Heritage Cup champion, and Charlie Dempsey is like, I would like a rematch, and Ren is like, why are you being so nice to him? You should be beating him up since he headbutted you in the. No, hold on, Ren. But no, I saw him. He headbutted you in the like just, I don't know what, groin. You know what I mean? You don't have to, like, I guess that's the joke. But Ren is very good here. She's funny. It's fine. And we're getting a rematch between Pillman Jr. and Charlie Dempsey. Pillman Jr. is still maintaining that he didn't do anything wrong. And there's very little I hate in this world more than the Pillman Jr. babyface character. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Look around in this world. There's plenty to hate.
There's very little that I hate more. Like, I hate a lot of things the same. I hate a lot of things the same amount.
At least you're even in your distribution of hatred, so that's good. Ren's awesome. Like, she's just very funny. She's super funny.
Yes.
She needs more reps for sure, I think.
Yeah.
But she's excellent, and hopefully they just put this back on Charlie Dempsey. And
yeah, they're not gonna. They're not gonna though, unless they do the thing that they're supposed to do. They didn't tell us when this was. They didn't tell us when this was going to happen. So they have enough time. If it's not happening next week, they have enough time for William Regal to sidle up to Charlie Dempsey and say to him,
I am your father.
Young Master King did not take my advice. The question is, will you? and Charlie Dempsey, then actually does. And then you can act like I wouldn't mind it. The whole thing is like to turn Charlie Dempsey to the dark side, working with his actual father. It'd be, honestly, you joke about the "I am your father," but like if in kayfabe Charlie Dempsey finds out on TV that William Regal is his real father, that would be one of the greatest storylines NXT's ever done.
It would be so dumb.
It would be but it would be fun dumb. It would be really fun dumb. It's like
just like R.I.P. Maury Povich, but it's just like a paternity test situation.
No, but it's like no. Like Shawn Michaels never told you what happened to your father. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible.
No, it's a no for me. I'm sorry.
Rule the NXT Performance Center as father and son.
No. Even you and William Regal can't sell me on it, and I didn't know there was anything that you and William Regal could sell me on.
This is now my holy grail of stories. They must do it. They'll never do it, but it's the thing I'll be hoping for the rest of my life.
Darth Regal.
So it would be a stupider version of Vampiro confessing to Penta during their death match. Remember that when Vampiro like confessed to Penta that I believe he was his kayfabe father now or something?
I don't remember
Underground.
that.
Of course not. It was amazing. But Luis says, "Now I want it." Yes, I also want it. I need it. I must have it.
No.
It's the best.
This is Dragon True. Thank you, Orion Ben. This is Dragon True for me. Everybody else but me wants it because it's stupid.
Right. Kate,
Alex,
why would you do weeks of vignettes of a woman trudging across a post-apocalyptic wasteland, beating 4 women to death on her way into a bombed-out city, whereupon she climbs to the top of a mountain and then punches through a brick wall to get here, to have her debut 2 different times during a play where she appears behind somebody, then up in the thing, and then comes down and beats up everybody. And then have her pin the NXT Women's Champion during the biggest match of the year, the 10-woman tag at the ECW Arena, only to have her be girl number 3 standing backstage giving advice to Kalani Jordan. This is a colossal waste of Delta / Zelta / Zariah or whatever the fucking name is. Terrible. This is terrible. She's standing there with her full face paint on, doing like, Kalani, you know what? I just think you need to be more aggressive. Like, what are we doing with this? This person should be larger than life. She should only speak like through like metaphor and stuff. She should be always calling people out for she should be fighting everyone she could possibly fight. Why not like, anyway, Kalani, I just feel like this is not really, maybe you're not taking the right tactic. And I mean, I don't know, all the time that I've spent trudging through a post-apocalyptic wasteland to get here, I actually have a lot of advice to give. And I don't know, like, this is terrible.
I didn't love when it was just like, she's friends with Sol Ruka, but I was like, that's an interesting combo at least. Like, I could get behind like, huh. But like, she just seems to be friends backstage. No to all of this. I firmly believe she should have been brought in as a heel. If they were worried that the reactions were going to be too good, whatever, fine. But like, how she's not just destroying people every week on my television is beyond me when she has Brock Lesnar's level of F5.
she should be squashing a woman every week.
Yeah.
Every week. Have her rack up a crazy, like 27 in a row. And every time she punches through, like, do a fun little gag where she kicks in Ava's door every week, and every week Robert Stone fixes it, and then it immediately gets kicked in again. And he's like, God damn it. Like that would be fun. But it would be her to come in, like, give me more competition or give me a title shot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, do something with it, because really right now she just feels She feels normal.
They
Like, that
pushed
is not
her like
how
crazy and then just off a cliff all of a sudden. Like,
that
what
is
was
not
this?
how this is not how you present Delta Zelta Zarya.
No, not
You
at
do
all. Not
No.
at all. She's like too much of a phenom,
Yeah.
and she's too much of a world beater. Like, God, her moveset calls for so much more. For her to have the spear she does and the F5 that she does is insane. Like,
Yeah.
she should be ruining people on my television week after week. She also shouldn't be effing around in backstage segments, kind of at all. Like, other than to be looking for like a feed me more situation. Like, unless she's looking for someone to be her next prey, like, I don't understand why if you have her on your screen 70% of the time, at least she should be in the ring. Like, there should not be. You should use your losses as motivation. What in the after school special F was this? No.
That's what she said. You should use your losses as motivation. Oh, thanks. I didn't have any thoughts like that until you said so. You know, and honestly, there's a fun thing they could do here where the only person she'll actually talk to is Sol Ruka because of the connection they've had. And so she's standing behind Sol Ruka and she'll like just whisper something to Sol Ruka. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I just think we like, you know what I mean? Like, and they could like Sol and Zelta together. I honestly like until the inevitable destruction of that team and they fight against each other. Like, but them just being some women on a couch in a room is that's not how you do that. But anyway, the whole reason we're talking about this is because Cora Jade comes up calling Jordan. If you weren't in that 4-way, I would have won it. And I know I'm going to win a title before you win another one. So what do you say to that, Middle Miss Michigan State? And she slaps her. It's like, I am not the same girl who went to Michigan State. And they have a match. And Cora Jade rakes the eyes because Kalani Jordan forced her into the corner and was punching her like this. Not beating the accusations, Kalani Jordan, if this is how you're punching somebody in the corner. And then she gets pulled away by the ref, and Cora Jade rakes the eyes and hits her dirty deeds on her and pins her. But the big deal about all of this, Kate, is there was a special guest at ringside for this match in particular. Masha Slamovich from
TNA Impact. Yep.
The women's world champion of TNA, the Knockouts world champion, whatever they call that over there.
Yep.
So her scouting this match to me screams is facing the winner of this match. And the fact that the person she's scouting is not Delta Zelta Zarya or Steph Vaquer or Julia or Jada Parker or Sol Ruka or any of these women, and is Cora Jade, who is just a woman who she's a character. She's not a wrestler right now. She's a character. And that's fine. You need those, but that's not the person that would not be at the top of my list of the women in NXT to face Masha Slamovich.
No, if you've seen Masha Slamovich, there's a reason that her last name is what it is. Sometimes those combinations work, right? Sometimes you take someone character heavy and you throw them in someone with a ring caliber like Masha Slamovich and they rise to the occasion. We saw that with Io Sky, right? But if I can get Masha Slamovich for a select number of matches, I can't tell you how, and this is not offense to Cora Jade, it's just that this division is stacked right now, how low Cora Jade is on that list right now. Like, it's just, even in this match, like, she was fine. That's it. Like, Masha Slamovich, like, it's bleeding in Japan from the forehead, like crazy, like a stuck pig. Like, she is not like coming in to face a mean girl. Like, she needs to be coming in to face an ass kicker. And I don't know what they need to do to support Cora Jade in a way that makes her feel more like a star, but this has not been it since her return at all to me. Like, it does not feel like she came back for Roxanne. Roxanne's clearly getting called up in some way sooner than later. So that short-lived, and now she's just kind of mean. Like, like she's just kind of picking fights with someone, and I don't know, man. Like, if I'm bringing Masha Slamovich in, there's at least 5 other women that I'm thinking of ahead of her. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why Kalani Jordan would also be scouted here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think either of these two, neither of them are in title contention. Like, she has the Knockouts championship.
Yeah.
Shouldn't she be looking at other champions or people in contention for other championships?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would have her here for this. Like, you could have her back. Honestly, this is something you could do. They would never do it, but this is something you could do. Since Steph is currently out of title contention for this thing, have Ava taking a meeting with Masha in her office. Like, I want to welcome you to NXT, champ. I'm just wondering what you're doing here. I'm just looking around, hoping to meet some new, maybe a future opponent. And that's when Stephanie comes in, super pissed about what happened in her match. And Stephanie and Masha look at each other and like, what are you doing here? You know, like that kind of a thing. It's like, I don't know, just sizing people up. And then she does. Tough loss out there. And Stephanie just turns red. Like that'd be, I mean, that would, like, is that not better than the thing that they are doing? I don't know. I'm sorry. It just, to me, it also, it would perfectly fit for the storyline of the character of Stephanie Vaquer tonight. And also, it'd be a lot better than like, I am sitting in a seat watching this match and no other matches, you know, like it's just,
yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah, like also Jada Parker just coming out during the match to stand at ringside and Mad Dog's Masha Slamovich. Like, you don't want that. You want me. You want me, because I want that. I mean, like, who that? Like, that's, come on. Like, that's so much better. That's someone, and have Cora Jade get pissed about it, and then have Jada Parker beat Cora Jade next week, and then call out Masha Slamovich on the mic. Hey, Masha, I want that Knockouts title. And guess what? I'm going to knock you out to take it.
Perfect.
Boom. That's Jada Parker all over it. Come on, do it. Yes, just let Alex book all the things, especially Darth Regal.
No, stop. You've gone too far.
No, I've done, this is the best I've done.
I know this is not a super chat, but it's just important to call up. Alba Bell said, just picked up my son from preschool today and he drew me a picture. I asked what it was and he said hairy balls. He could be in the writer's room.
He could be.
Doing stuff for the Miss.
He could be. The Eddie promo on a rooftop somewhere. He thinks he's going to beat Femi next week.
He's not going to.
They do the LA forest fires. The horrible, but then they're using AI pictures of the fire in this ad. Stop using this ad if it's got AI in it.
Yeah, this is so weird.
Stop using this ad if it's got AI in it. Just don't do that.
If this is WWE or Red Cross, I don't know, but it's weird.
Our hearts go out to all the people affected. It's absolutely horrible out there. I have people out there who have been evacuated who may or may not have lost everything. So, yeah, it's terrible. So stop using AI to raise awareness of it.
There's plenty of,
because you're raising awareness of fake shit.
Yeah, there's plenty of
real stuff. Use that.
Yeah, it's awful. You don't need to fake the destruction that's happening, but of course, our thoughts are with them and everybody affected.
So Briggs and Inamura confront the Blurry Boys, saying that we saved you from that parking lot brawl 6 weeks ago. Remember? And I honestly did not. And then like maybe we should have let you get your asses kicked. And like, we have a tag team title match in like 2 minutes. So what's the deal? We got next. Okay, fine. And then in come OTM, and they're like, well, you're talking to the wrong people because we're gonna win tonight. And then in a more what did he say? He's like, we're gonna drag you through the mud, out the mud, or whatever he says. And it's like, you guys do mud wrestling? that's not the kind of wrestling I do, or whatever. It's like, what did he say? And Briggs is like, sometimes he gets a little, and then they fight. And so that's fine. Briggs and Inamura could be fine.
That could be fun.
I guess that could be fun.
That could be fun.
Fraxium defeats OTM. Like, there were no shenanigans. Am I wrong? I didn't see shenanigans. Were there shenanigans? Why would you tease shenanigans, Johnny Gargano? And then you saying there were going to be no shenanigans? How dare you that's not heel. A heel lies.
Don't tell us the truth.
Don't tell us the truth,
Rude.
Johnny Gargano.
About the sacred art of shenanigans of all things too. You can shenan once, you can shenan again. That's
right. The Blurry Boys are fantastic.
Yes, they're fantastic.
It is crazy to me how they found each other and are now this perfect little guy tag team. Frazer doing fucking frog splashes. Like, he could have made it into the third row if he wanted to. Like, he did not actually he didn't jump as far as he could possibly jump to get from the top rope to the announce desk. That was crazy. And again, he did the thing that you talk about where he does most of the way there and then this little hop. Like, he just the frog doesn't actually jump there. You got to jump high, whatever. And then Axiom wins with the Spanish fly from the top rope and the golden ratio, and they beat him. This was good. It showed OTM had some good stuff. I loved how the stuff with Frazer ping-ponging all the way around the ring.
So
but if
good.
one of those big dudes catches you in the mouth with a shoulder block, you're gonna go down. You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt so much if you weren't so fast. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those.
Pump the brakes one of these times. This was set up as a really nice speed versus strength story, and OTM looked better than they had, I think, before, because I think it was showcased properly, and good for them. If Corey Graves ain't the solution, Booker T is still not the right fit here. There were so many points at this broadcast, but especially in this tag match where it was just rough. It was just rough on commentary. This was where it detracted the most for me, unfortunately. But Vic Joseph trying to persevere a lot of this. But it was a lot of fun. DIY was watching from the Raven's Nest, as they do. But I was glad that it was a clean win, but it was also suspicious because you don't tell the truth about it. I promise no shenanigans. What? So I think there's a couple interesting things here because the pacing of their call up is going to be one to watch. Like, I don't know if they're going to carry this through Rumble and then drop it, stand and deliver. I don't know if they come up ahead of that because they are in dire need for babyface tag teams on the main roster. But I kind of thought they probably not going to lose on a random Tuesday. But like, now a program with DIY is kind of odd. So we'll see what happens with them, but they're excellent. They are an excellent tag team.
Maybe I am giving them too much credit, and I almost certainly am. But I think that WWE management realizes what a special act these two guys are, and also knows they're going to sell an F ton of merch to kids.
Yes.
So, getting them up there in a main spot would be great. I don't know if you can do a title for title, but if both these teams were champions at Mania, and you just like a few years ago, you had like Aleister Black and Ricochet were firmly in NXT, and they had a tag team title match on WrestleMania for the Raw tag team titles, I believe. They lost, but I also feel like Fraxium would probably lose. But like, having them come up here, and it would be kind of cool if they were the champions at the time too. And what an introduction to people on the undercard of one of the two nights of Mania. DIY. Let's just make it fun. DIY versus the Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium in a, importantly, one guy is legal from each team fatal 4-way tag team match. Who says no?
Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of fun.
The most fun you have watching any match on either card. Come on.
Yeah, it would be super fun. Better than a tag showcase, whatever the heck they've been doing. Yeah. Like those ones that are like, here's just teams.
Yeah. So this was very good. This was the main event in ring.
Yes.
To have so they could do what appears to be a major storyline promo that they did not have enough time for to close the show. And they just need to get better at this.
They do. They need to figure out the pacing now that they don't have it overrun.
They got it. They need to. However much time you think you need for that final show closing promo, add 3 minutes, and that's the amount of time that you need. And so you cut things out earlier. I don't know. Maybe we get less of people wandering around backstage. Maybe we cut. All the stupid Degrassi Junior High subplots.
I'm okay with that.
I think if we have to make a sacrifice, that's the one that I'm willing to make. Oba versus Eddie and Tony D versus Ridge are both title matches. So next week. So I don't think there's a chance that either of those ends up actually being a championship. A title change because both of them are on the same episode. If one of them was on it, like if it was Ridge versus Tony D, like maybe that's the time where you do a weird thing of like Ridge won, oh my god, but Tony D gets it back. Maybe that's the story they do. Please don't do that.
Not here, no.
Because it's Ridge. But and then Julia will finally be on TV again. So that's next week. Roxanne addresses her future. She mostly addressed her past. Like I did all of this, and I wanted to make women's wrestling. I built the women's division. It's been so great, but of course, now that I'm gone, it's going to suck because I'm not here because I'm
a heel.
Yeah. And I'm a heel and all that stuff. And before this thing started, we saw a white Mercedes SUV pull up and 2 combat boots get out of the car, and that's it. Right before this thing started. And Roxanne talked for a few minutes, but not for a very long amount of time. And then she was interrupted by Bayley, who came out, and the pace she was talking let you know that when she walked through the grill, they were like, we got like 45 seconds. She was like, Roxanne, yes, you've done a lot, and we all think you're really great. But here's the thing, and she had to get through it. She sounded like she was doing it at the pace of those ladies who talk about side effects at the end of the drug ads. Like it was like and diarrhea. Like it was just the craziest thing. But they didn't have enough time. Because like you say don't need my advice, but I'm gonna beat Tiffany Stratton on Friday on SmackDown and blah 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 blah, and then Roxanne just slapped her, and right after the slap, cut away. Didn't see anything. Didn't happen. You know
they should end with matches because it makes it much easier to go home until they figure it out. Yeah. They should end with matches because you can shave 2 minutes off a match much easier. But I understand why they did this. You can't follow Bayley, right? But as a rule of thumb, if there's not a big moment,
right.
Unfortunately, I thought it was one of Roxanne's better promos until the end got cut so abrupt. I've been wanting her to lean more into the prodigy than the put some respect on my mean girly stuff that we get when she is this damn good. Like, you have someone who backs up what they say to the extent that she does. Lean into that. This kind of went in that direction, which made me happy. She had said, like, when I won the title the second time around, her goal was to make women's wrestling the main event worthy thing that they wanted it to be, or she wanted it to be, and she did that. And it felt really authentic and like a goodbye promo until then she turned it into, well, it's not going to be the case with Julia. You could say goodbye to everything that I built because of that, which I get it, but I'm like, Julia's too good for that promo. Like you can't do that. But then Bayley came out, and I was like, this is an awesome program to set up. And I looked at the clock and said, they don't have time to set it up, though. And yes, Bayley motor mouthed her way through everything that she could. I think it's going to be so much fun. Roxanne's debut before a proper debut on the main roster was against Bayley. It was very good. I think there's a lot of parallels in who they've been and what they're doing that there'll be a lot to draw from, considering they don't really have like a history, right? So, and Roxanne had said, you know, in previous generations, you needed 4 horsewomen. This time you only needed me, which I thought was kind of a good kickstart line for Bayley to come out and rush through everything that she had to say.
Yeah. The crowd also wanted her to be able to like go around and high five everybody, and they wanted to chant for her, but there was no time. No time. Got to do it.
Not on camera, there wasn't. Yeah.
I know. Tim McFall says, Kate and Alex, there is no amount of sour that can spoil my mood. We are going to finally get Bayley versus Rox. Hook that into my veins. Thank you, Netflix.
Thank you, Netflix.
Luis says that most of the Discord thought that the combat boots was Charlotte. I'm sorry. That's not a Charlotte footwear. That's the thing that would throw me off immediately. But
no, this was like Doc Martin's combat boots. That's a Bayley look. Yeah. At
first, it seemed silly, but it turns out not so much because she was backstage at NXT tonight.
Right. That's the only other piece of that.
But it would have been definitely heels.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why it's not. Here's the deal, though. There's a very big reason why Bayley says, "I'm gonna fight Tiffany Stratton this week on SmackDown." I'm reminding everyone that on a different network, I'm going to be having a match against a person who's not involved in this scene, which just screams bloody murder to me, that Roxanne is going to show up on Friday, get involved, cost Bayley. Tiffany remains the champion. Tiffany and Roxanne hopefully have a different now moment between them. I don't know if they're going to do it, but that is what gets us a Bayley and Roxanne program to start on SmackDown, is because of this, because Bayley interrupted Roxanne cost Bayley her title match, and now we're off to the races with Bayley and Roxanne, which is a great first program for Roxanne. I don't know if it lasts all the way through. I think they eliminate each other from the Royal Rumble. I think that I don't know if that's a Mania match. I don't think so. It's a Mania match, not the way that they actually book women, but like it's definitely something you could do on the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Think,
like the blow off kind of a thing.
It would be cool to see if we get Becky Lyra and Bayley Roxanne. Like that is a generational bump now. That is the 4 horsewomen taking on the role of the older people, helping the younger people come along in a different way than they were with the Rheas and the stuff, because they were kind of close on their heels. You know what I mean? Mercedes and Bianca's probably the last catapult you got out of that.
Man, you know what you honestly really could do? Not that I'm saying that I think that they're going to move the U.S. title over to one of these 2 women of Bayley and Roxanne. Bayley versus Roxanne for the women's U.S. title. Becky versus Lyra for the women's Intercontinental title, and Charlotte versus Tiffany for the women's title on SmackDown.
Very cool.
Are 3 parallel storylines for 3 different titles of one of the 4 horsewomen versus one of the three of the top up and comers. Now, I would be all on board for this if they had booked Lyra at all the way that they had made her feel like she was strong as a Tiffany or a Roxanne in NXT.
Sure.
But she was forgotten about throughout the summer. And so to me, if you're going to try and say she's on the same level as Roxanne or Tiffany, I find that hard to believe regardless of this tournament push, because I've seen what they did with her throughout most of the summer and all of the fall, which was nothing. All of the fall. Nothing. She wrestled more often on main event than she wrestled on Raw. So like, let's see what they do with that. But honestly, those 3 storylines honestly, that wouldn't be terrible.
That really wouldn't. And I think it's actually more within reach than you may give credit for, because I don't know if Chelsea Green needs that. Like, I don't know if I think she deserves it, like her WrestleMania moment, but you could have Piper turn on her when she's facing Bayley or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I honestly, but the way you got to do it then, if you're going to make it entirely parallel, is Roxanne needs to be the U.S. champ.
Yes, that's true.
All three of the champs would be the young class, and then the older class trying to come and get it. Would be very interesting to me.
That would be very cool.
And then if you figured out a way, I don't know how you do it at this point, but if you figured out a way to make the other women's match, Rhea Bianca, finally at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
That's 4 women's singles matches for 4 women's singles titles that I don't think you could do anything better.
Except then what is Io Sky doing?
I mean, I don't know. She's in the women's battle royal. The Andrea the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Not Andrea.
And the title is an 8-foot statue of Andre the Giant wearing a wig. And a moo-moo.
Remember when Hulklina slammed Andrea?
I do.
Classic.
Meet Norma says, here's a small sack of monies for Team Sour Bangs. I was bored at work and rewatched Omega and Kids, so NXT was like lima beans for me. Obo wins the Rumble. Obo should win the Rumble, and then he should win. He should challenge both Gunther and Cody, and he should pin them both at the same time, and he should hold all the titles forever. So
no notes.
No.
Sounds productive.
Jambeard says Becky and Lyra, Bayley and Rox, Flair and Tiffy, Zelta and Rhea. And honestly, because they can both do great humor along with the beauty thing, Carmella and Green. Is Carmella coming back soon?
No. So Carmella has been dealing with drop foot, and now her husband doesn't like the company. So we'll see what happens.
Sorry, Carmella is still out with husband doesn't like the company.
Yeah,
that is
out with awkward. Condition. You could do. I mean, they wouldn't. She's not in this position, but Chelsea and Ariana Grace was the moment on the NXT side.
Yeah, but they didn't. All right, some puns that are game show puns, Nickelodeon puns, and Disney puns. Maybe, I don't know.
Amalgamation.
Mm-hmm. Chris Pereira says Lucien Price is right. Luis Polito says SpongeBob Sap SquarePants. Just Ricardo says, are you afraid of the Dark Order? Lupongi Vice says Drake and Double Vest.
Lupongi Vice. That's very good.
Chris Pereira says the Ren Sinclair and Stimpy Show. Lieutenant Photo says wrestling has more than one royal family double dare.
Ooh, that would be fun if that was true.
Jambeard says Ricky's modern life.
Poor Ricky Starks is just sitting on a couch, sadly. Picking up some indie dates.
That is his modern life. Lieutenant Photo says tour of the Gullah Gullah Islands. Meet Norma says, salute your shorty G. Sabrina, the spooky Scottish witch. And Sky Bluey.
Sky Bluey is very good.
C. Delgado says Drake and Josh Alexander. And I get Drake and Double Vest. Is Drake
Josh.
And Josh. There you go.
Well
and then
played.
He says Cash Wheeler of Fortune.
Very nice.
Jambeard says Invader ZSJ. Tom LaValle says Red Velvet Jaguars, Blueberry Horowitz, Chelsea Green Monkeys, Orange Cassidy Iguanas, Purple Parrot Avalon, and John Silver Snakes.
Name that show.
I can't.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Okay. I was barely aware of it.
With Olmec and Kirk Fogg.
I'm aware of what the temple looks like, but if you ask me,
learned. Learn up. Skipping toilet.
Insert clever Nixon Newell pun says The Adventures of Nixon Neutron
Very good.
and Girl Genius.
Very good.
Lieutenant Photo says Clarissa explains it all in.
That's a really
Lieutenant
good one.
Photo says Dwayne the Rocco's Modern Life Johnson.
Very good.
Pieces says, Real Monsters Among Men. Braun Strowman. Jambeard says the Becky Yardigans.
The Backyardigans. Do you know that one? Because of your daughter?
I know the name, the Backyardigans. I know that name. I don't know if is it animated, is it live action? I don't know what it is.
It's animated.
Okay. Chris Pereira says Nick at LA Knight.
Skibidi Toilet.
Jambeard says Donald Duke, Mizzy Mouse, and Goonfy.
Oh.
Tim McFall says Beauty and the Best in the World.
Very nice.
And Jambeard says Rennie the Pooh.
Very nice.
Okay. All right, we got some jukeboxes. We got one for Nya Girl.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, before Nya Girl comes to the stage, we will remind you, while we have very fun voices that we do here, there's nobody with better voiceover work in the world than Matthew Hooks, okay? He's a sponsor of this show. He's a sponsor of the Fightful Awards, which is coming up on Sunday. We thank him for his support. Check out hookedinvoiceovers.com. You're going to find out a whole bunch of information. It's got his reels there. You can hear his voice behind national and international brands. You can get your questions answered. You can schedule a Zoom call with Matthew Hooks to talk about putting some voice to your brand, whether you're a content creator or a small business. He can create a really fun experience for you if you need one. So go to hookedinvoiceovers.com or email hookedinvoiceovers@gmail.com. He'll get you set up. He's got everything you need, and keep an eye out for which category he is sponsoring at the Fightful Awards. But we love Matthew Hooks around here. We're so thankful for his support. We throw it back at him. Thank you, Hooks. Thank you, Netflix. The chat has got it down. We appreciate it so much, but it's not all just silly voices, okay? Sometimes you need like actual good voiceover work, and Matthew Hooks has got you covered. But where's the nail girl?
Bear Country in the Big Sky Blue House. Jambeard wants Nya Girl to sing Aleister Black's Root of Evil theme.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Let me open it, and then I will sing it. No man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. I do things you never could, and we will never be equal. Ha 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 ha. No man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. I do things you never could, and we won't ever be equal. You literally point your finger and play the victim, so take your best shot. Release the pressure. You perpetuate your propaganda, and now I'm calling you out. No man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. I do things you never could, and we will never be equal. Yeah.
Very good. Nathan Frazer to sing Penta's AEW theme from Jambeard. Zero Miedo, NMO Hero. Meet us in the ring, we the Mexicans. It's a fight we bring, hanging by a string. Zero's up, M's down. I always say it proud. Phoenix Penta make you feel the mood. They're the best in the ring, they are. That's not a lie. You can feel it is strongest for all the people. Opponents fall with brute, face first. The king and the lord of lucha are always present, representing freedom and all that are independent. They fight with art, which is very strong. Punishing moves that are always hot. Zero Miedo. And Bob's your uncle.
Boy, I missed that theme on Monday.
Yeah. Luis Polito says, big time Roosh, or what a big time Roosh. And
very nice.
Meet Norma says Beauty and the Mortos. So that's good.
Hold on.
Let's see here. Um, Louisville wants Braun to sing Pink Pony Club. I don't know. Is that incongruous in some way? I know you wanted me to stay, but I can't enjoy the crazy visions of me in LA. And I heard that there's a special place where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. I'm having wicked dreams of living in Tennessee. Here's Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud, it's gonna cause a scene. She sees a baby girl, I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun. On the strings of my heels is where I belong. Down at the Pink Pony Club, I'ma keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'ma keep on dancing at the Pink Pony in West Hollywood. I'ma keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club, Pink Pony Club. Get these lap dances. Jam Beard wants Papa Pulowski to sing Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
Papa Pulaski is frequently working late because he's a singer. So
now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is that sweet? I guess so. Say, I can't sleep, baby. I know that's me, Espresso. Move it up, down, left, right. Oh, switch it up like Nintendo. Say, you can't sleep, baby. I know that's me, Espresso. I can't relate to desperation. I give a fucks are on vacation, and I got this one boy who won't stop calling. When they act this way, I know I got 'em. Too bad your ex don't do it for you. Walked in and dream came true it for you. Soft skin and I perfumed it for you. I know I Mountain Dew it for you. The Mountain Coffee brewed it for you. One touch and I brand newed it for you. Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so. Say you can't sleep, baby. I know that's me Espresso. Move it up, down, left, right, oh, switch it up like Nintendo. Say you can't sleep, baby. I know. That's me Espresso. What? Okay.
Mountain Dewed it for you, did you?
Jam Beard wants a duet of Dusty Rhodes and the Nya Girls singing a duet of Indestructible.
Oh no. Hold on, my contact.
Oh no, your contact. That's not good.
Contact.
Oh no, your contact lens. That's terrible. It's me. This so Harley can't. Oh, I did not know there was a crossover of brands between AEW and WWE. That's Harley Cameron featuring Shotzi and Scarlett Bordeaux. I did not realize there was a crossover.
I didn't realize that's what this even was. So let me open the document because now I can see again.
All right.
Oh no. An error has occurred. You're going to have to hold on one quick second as I load this.
Hold on. Okay, I'll do the first verse, and then you do the chorus. All right, here we go. Heart says, baby, you gonna make it. Head says, honey, you are failing. Now it's time to choose. The one you listen to. They said, you will never make it. That's hard times. But who says that rough seas ain't meant for sailing? Find your own way. Don't let the waves take you under, baby, daddy.
Bring on the storm, because I'm a fighter. I've been to hell and felt the fire. It made me stronger. It made me indestructible. Better believe I'll find my way back. Kick me while I'm down. I'll get right back off the ground 10 times stronger, because I'm literally indestructible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the Rabion.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for the duet. Bye.
Thank you. A gem.
Hello. It's me.
Ricky.
I've got two. And then we've
got two songs to sing.
No more. I've got two and I'll be done. Right? This one is from last week. Vicky sent in, hey, Alex and Kate, in honor of a great night for ladies, requesting by Cool and the Gang
as Ricky Rainbow. That's me.
That is you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a night. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. It is ladies' night. And the feeling is right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Girls, you got the one. What a night that's special everywhere. From New York to Hollywood, it's ladies' night. And the girl, the feeling's good. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, it's ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Right, so here we go. The last one from Tom LaValle. Ricky, that's me,
That is
sings
you.
Solar by the Kinks, but it's Oba instead.
Oh. It'd be a shame if this broadcast just got cut off if we didn't have enough time.
I met him in a club down in Old Soho where you drink champagne and it tastes just like Coca-Cola. C-O-L-A Cola. He walked up to me and he asked me to dance. I asked him a name and in a dark brown voice, he said, Oba. O-B-A, Oba. O-O-O-O-Oba. Well, I'm not the world's most physical guy. I'm Robert Stone. But when he squeezed me tight, he nearly broke my spine. Oh, my Oba. Oh, my Oba. Well, I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why when he walks like this. The greatest man, oh, my Oba. Oh, my Oba. Well, we drank champagne and danced all night under electric candlelight. He picked me up and sat me on his knee. He said, little boy, won't you come home with me? Well, I'm not the world's most passionate guy, but when I looked in his eyes, well, I definitely fell for my Oba. The perfect man, Oba. Oh, my Oba. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. It's been a delight having you here.
It's been nice.
I appreciate you stopping by and singing all these songs.
Yeah, but what if I was talking and then you came out and interrupted me and talked very fast?
And interrupted you and just started talking really fast and justifying my whole position. I don't even know what would happen in that case.
What if then we were to stop smacking each other and then we would punch each other and then we would leave and we would stop the show abruptly? What if that was a thing that happened?
I mean, that would never happen.
No.
But just in case.
I was punching the wrong way.
I mean, I can punch this way too. Oh! You're still mean. I'm gonna beat you up.
That's
I don't
right.
like you.
Keep it cool, Gabagoos.
Yeah.